oh, I killed it, and that's when he ate it. I saw him following it. That's a good one too. Man, one thing I love doing is going to brand new lakes. Today, we're on another new lake. It's a power plant lake over in East Texas called Welch Reservoir. Why are we here? Well, it's January. The water's cold in Oklahoma. Fishing's kind of tough. I wanted to come to a power plant lake, and I get down here, and the water's not that much warmer. It's like 54 degrees. I'm up to 55, so kind of excited about the day. I just got on the water, I'm idling up here. I've noticed there's tons of hydrilla, like just a bunch of hydrilla. But we're gonna get out here, we're gonna try to break it down today. Try to see if we can catch some bass. Don't know what is gonna happen, don't know how we're gonna catch them, but I got a good fishing day. It's cloudy, it's kind of overcast, and the high today is supposed to be like 55 degrees, and got a little bit of wind. So I've got all the right scenarios, I just need to catch a bass.
From the top of the mountain.
Got something. What do I got? Man, I seen that one out there on my active target. Suspended down. Oh, and it's a big one too. What is it? It's a bass. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. That just gets me excited. I've drove 5 hours to get here. I've been here 10 minutes. I'm idling to the upper end of this thing and I just see all these fish out in open water, and I'm like, I gotta try them. I gotta try them. It's a fat one too. All right, all right. And on a wintertime bait, you know, golly, he's warm. He's warm. Thanks, buddy. Man, it just, that's why you watch your electronics. I mean, this lake's full of grass, you know, when I put in, it's just wall-to-wall grass, but there's a bunch of fish right here, and we're out in the middle of the lake. Cool, cool, cool. Amazed how spooky these fish are to the boat. This is crazy to me. Like, they're 40, 50 feet in front of the boat, 15 feet down, and they're moving away from me. And this is a highly, highly pressured lake. I mean, we're here on the middle of the week, a cold day, 70% chance of rain, and the parking lot's still pretty dadgum full. Oh, they're hitting it. Golly, they're coming after it. Oh, that's a stump. Gosh, the problem with that deal is I seen them coming at it, like 3 of them coming right at it, and I set the hook a little too soon. Then I set the hook in the stump. Gosh dang it. This is fun. I may not be catching a bunch of fish, but it is fun. It is pretty addictive. Oh, I saw that one come down on it. I killed it, and I let it go to the bottom, and he ate it. That is so fun. Oh man, golly. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Catching fish in January. That's no one-eyed fish. He's missing an eyeball. That's why I caught him. Thanks, buddy. That's just crazy. I just had no idea. This rod was tied on from fishing Texoma. I jerked it out of the rod box, just because it's just weird. It's just weird because I'm thinking that we're going to be up here sight fishing or fishing shallow, and here I am out in the middle looking at them on my electronics. You know, one of my hard, fast rules when I'm fishing pressured lakes, fishing, you know, when I'm not getting bites, you know, when you're on a lake that you feel like gets a lot of pressure, I've got a saying that I say, you've got to think outside the box. This is outside the box. Everybody is on the bank. That's the box at this lake right now because the water's warm, fish have been up there spawning, it's a power plant lake. There's nobody out here in the middle. And yeah, we got fortunate, but it's thinking outside the box. And that's just one of those things that I do all the time when I'm on a body of water that gets a lot of pressure or I'm not getting bites. I need to get out of what I do every day. And it's just something I always tell myself, Edwin, get out of the box, you know, because you think about boats, they're all going down the bank doing the same thing. I've got to figure out something just a little bit different. Oh, I killed it, and that's when he ate it. I saw him following it. That's a good one too. Oh, that is so much fun. You guys, like, I'm like, I know I probably shouldn't be doing this, but it's fun. Yeah, I should be, because I'm catching big ones. And I haven't been here but 20, 30 minutes. Come here, buddy. I am so enthralled with the active target. You know, I was idling up through there and I just seen all these fish and, oh, it's so much fun. Yes, look at that, would you? We're in January and we're catching them. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, thank you. Oh, he got my tail. I only got one more of those. That stinks. I switched it up to a little bit heavier head to move it a little quicker. I still got it on 10-pound test, so it's still staying down there. I feel like I'm taking candy from a baby right now. That is so much fun. It just goes to show, you know, I've been doing this 20 years and you never, ever stop learning. And what I learned, and it's a prime example on a heavily pressured lake like this. I mean, this is like big time pressured lake. Everybody's on the bank. Everybody, when you scan around and you look at this lake, everybody's on the bank. And the water temperature, you know, is 57 degrees. There's probably a few fish spawning being a power plant lake. Just fish stuff with an open mind. I'm idling up the lake to go fish on the bank, probably with everybody else. And I see all these fish out in the middle. And you know, it's just pressured lakes, you know, I think they'll back off. They'll get out here where they're not getting messed with. There's no contour changes, nothing. There's just a timber line here is all there is. And that's what those fish are relating to. A prime example of something outside of the box, you know, a lot of times in the year is just reeling a bait faster, you know, burning a square bill, you know, just making that bait go faster than anybody else is reeling it. Another prime example of thinking outside the box is having a 1/2 ounce weight on when you're flipping instead of a 3/8 ounce weights. It's little things like that that can be outside of the box. It doesn't have to be something as drastic as this is us out in the middle of this lake today and everybody else is up on the bank. Something key that I figured out really quick right off the bat, you know, is reeling that bait fairly quick and then killing it and letting it go back down to the bottom. And I need it to go back down to the bottom fairly quick. So I need it to have, when I kind of kill it, I kill it and give it some slack because I want it to go back pretty quick. I don't want it to fall on a pendulum. I want it to go straight back down. So those fish that are following it, it's almost like they're right behind it and it falls straight down and they just have to eat it. I don't want it falling on tight line. I want it falling on slack line. It never ever gets old. I think one thing that I figured out is I've got to have my bait above them. You know, I think that's just always important on suspended fish. They're only gonna come up. A lot of times they don't come down. We've made a couple different modifications. We've changed up the heads. I've went to a 1/2 ounce head there. That's 2 bites and like 5 casts on a 1/2 ounce head too. So making it a little quicker. on any lake you fish, but especially lakes that get tons of pressure. You know, we noticed this morning how these fish are running from the boat. You've got to make long casts. Like, I can't tell you how many of these bites have come on the very end of my cast. Super important, super long cast. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw what I did right there, but I twitched it twice and then I killed it, and then that big old girl right there ate that thing. Oh, come on, baby, jump. I made her bite. She's so deep water, she's gonna jump or not? Come here, girl. Look at her. She is just an old fish. Look at that thing. It's ancient looking. But man, I twitched it and then I killed it and she just ate it. That's so awesome. So awesome, so awesome. Yes. All right, let's do the power stop breakdown of the day. You know, the two baits so far that I've caught the fish on has been this 3/8 power swimmer. I've upgraded it to a 1/2 ounce head. I've got it on 10-pound test. I'm not saying this is the right rod. It's just the rod that I had 10-pound test. It's working today. A 7.3 heavy action, 6/8 to 1 gear ratio reel, 10-pound test. That's caught some of them. The other rod that I've caught some on has been this one right here. You know, you guys have seen me catch a lot of fish on this. This is a 3.3 power swimmer, and that's a 3/8 ounce head, 8-pound test. That's probably 10-pound fluorocarbon on there. That's a 6.9 medium action rod. So far today, those have been the two baits. I'm gonna keep chunking and see if we can catch some more. It is fun to catch them when you come to a new lake for the first time and catch them that quick. It just gives me a lot of confidence. I think we figured out how to catch them. Not very often you can come to a lake. I think we've been here maybe an hour and we've caught 6 or 7 fish now, and it's pretty much just pure luck, because all I heard was that they were biting here a little bit and that they were spawning. Well, I don't think they're spawning because the water's 57. They might be. We idled 200 yards out in front of the boat ramp, and I just see a whole bunch of them on my side imaging. And we've caught them. And it's fun. And there's not another boat out here in the lake out in the middle. Everybody's on the bank. You know, another instant that you can think outside the box, you know, when I got here, you know, I got a few spinning rods out because I was just gonna light line fish the bank. You know, I feel like a lot of times people power fish, you know, when you got a lot of boats on the water, everybody's doing the same thing. They're all throwing, you know, 1/2 ounce jig or a big pit boss. I was gonna spinning rod, light line, you know, a general or drop shot around the bank. You know, that's another way to think outside the box. Those are the kind of examples I'm wanting you to think of when you're not getting bit. Think outside of what everybody else is doing. Oh, look at him on the side imaging. Look at him on the side imaging. Holy smokes. Look right here. Look at all these fish. Those are all fish on the side imaging. Those are all bass too. That's what we are catching. A big pile of them swimming through right now. There's a bunch of them right here on active target too, swimming around. You can just see them all down there on the bottom. And then now they're on 2D. I'm just gonna try to stay off the trolling motor, not make any noise. I've noticed something here this morning, you know, catching these fish. The ones that have been up in the water column, you know, the ones that have been suspended, you know, that I've seen up moving, you know, those have been those 2.5 pound fish. The couple better fish, you know, a pound bigger, the 3-pound fish, they've been the ones that have all been more down deep on the bottom. And I think a lot of times that's typical when you got fish out schooling, busting shad. Usually those big ones are always down deeper. You know, they're just kind of waiting for them shad to fall down through there maybe. Oh, that is so cool. I got that one to eat it on the fall. I saw those fish out there on my active target. Just a really, really important deal to make sure you watch your line, and it just jumped, you know, as that bait was falling. That fish is a football. Boys and girls, that is a definition of a football. Look at that. Look at that. You don't think he's up there eating? Good night. You would think you'd see something in his belly, but it's a football. That is so cool. That is the definition of a football right there. He is a fat little dude. All right. And look at him on the active target. Look at that active target. They're all going down because the boat's getting close to them. That's what I'm talking about, how spooky they are. You can see how they just all leave. They don't even have the trolling motor on. They're hearing the electronics pinging. That is some pressured fish. I mean, it's 20 feet deep. That's crazy. You know, there's a lot of timber out here, you know, right here where I'm fishing. I'm right on the edge on it. I'm throwing in timber, but yet I still have an open hook. Don't just think, you know, since you got all this timber out here, that you've got to have something weedless. You know, you can bring this through that timber just fine. If you get snagged up, it's no big deal. You just, as long as you don't pull on it really hard, you can just get right over the top of it and it'll just pop right back off. So don't be afraid to throw an open hook in a situation like this. You know, the bite on this bait is so subtle. It's just a little tick. It's just like, if you can imagine somebody just ticking your line, that's what it feels like. You know, I think a lot of times people get bites and they don't really realize it. It's a real subtle bite. Oh, feels like a good one. Oh, it feels like a really good one. Stay on there, baby. Stay on there. Stay on there. Oh, yeah. Man, it's just so fun to come to a new lake and figure them out. And figure them out quick, you know. There's just days that I got all these gray hairs on my head and I'm like, I can't ever figure them out. Then it just makes you come back when you have a day like today and you figure them out really, really quick, which is just super cool. So I just love days like today. Just when everything comes together, it's exactly what you just, I don't know, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I don't know what else to say, but man, thank you, fish. What a day, brand new lake. Never fished before. Got out here and I just saw them immediately when I got off the big motor. And that's something I've always noticed about power plant lakes though. You notice a few of these fish today, they're long, lean, skinny. I just think it's because they've got so much heat, they swim nonstop. Like when I'm watching these fish out here on my locator, they don't ever stop, and they're just nonstop swimming. So it's just a fun thing on these lakes like this. Pretty fish. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Go back down there, straight down. I mean, it went straight down. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. That's cool. Man, that was a lot of fun, you know. It's fun, it's confidence building, like when you just come out here for a couple hours on a brand new lake, and yeah, I probably got a little lucky. I was idling up to the upper end. I saw all those fish on my structure scan, but you know, a couple things to take away from it. You know, it was really important to pause that bait. You know, that triggered a lot of those bites as that thing was falling, making long casts. And you know, now after I've been here, it's not quite as random as I first thought it was. You know, I thought they're out here in the middle. I want to show you on a map exactly what this is. So when I get back here and I look at it, you know, you can see right here that I idled right down the lake. You know, I was going to come up to this upper end. Well, I saw all those fish on my structure scan right there at waypoint 1, and man, a couple hours right there, we caught all those fish, had a lot of fun. But what it is, it doesn't show up here on the map. This is where the timber starts. There's kind of a line right here. So I feel like those bass are sitting in this timber. The wind's blowing this way and they're ambushing those shad coming in. You know, these fish there's probably some post-spawn ones, I guess. Maybe, you know, I don't know how warm this lake's been. You know, it's 56, 57 degrees, but you know, this is a timber line. That's one thing you always want to look at, no matter where you're at in the country. You know, where they stop those timber lines, it's just a great edge. Just like deer would love that edge, bass use that edge too to ambush their prey. So, man, I had a lot of fun. I know it happened quick today. I appreciate you guys following along. Another Project E's coming at you next week. Be sure you hit that like and that subscribe button. That stuff helps me a bunch, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks.